Welcome back to Sonic and the Black Knight. So, now that we've defeated Knuckles, let's go to the Crystal Cave.
Alright.
But first, let's check what Tails has got for us.
Hi, Tails.
Ace of Spades. Lollipop, string of pearls. Seriously, the equipment in this game is so lame. Like, there's not like an armor or a sword or anything. It's just lollipops, pearls, cards.
Well, I think there are swords.
Well, there's the thing, Joe. It feels more like out of place to me. I mean, for the medieval times, it seems like some of them, like the necklace, seems fine, but the Ace of Spades card, for example.
And the lollipop? I'm pretty sure there were no lollipops in the Middle Ages.
Yeah.
And also, I keep forgetting that Eggman isn't in this game.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is the only game he's not in.
So yeah, this is yet another.
I think there's one or two others, but
Wow.
This is yet another head to the goal level. So it's a pretty straightforward level.
whack.
Crack. And thank you, Knack.
You know, I kind of wish that
Yes.
every time somebody gets whacked, I wish we could do that brain scratch running joke where actually that only works for bumpers, doesn't it? Where you say "pingus" every time you hit it. Actually, no, I got a better idea. Do the Batman 60s sound effects.
Ouch.
Yeah. Alright.
And slice.
Also, the placement for some of these traps seems a bit weird. Like that one that had only one before the jumping mushroom.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I haven't played this game, so I don't know how much clunky it is to play with the controls.
One thing that I'm glad is that this was the last Sonic game to have generic-looking mooks. Because one of the things that I didn't like...
I don't think they're generic looking.
Yeah, what do you mean by that? Because
they're just generic purple burly dudes that like
Not
it's
really, honestly.
well,
That's not much of the-
no, but even that, don't Eggman robots tend to count as well with that?
well, I was about to get that as well too, because one of the things that one things that I will definitely give to say games like Lost World, for example, is that for at the very least they actually used actual proper batniks that look distinct instead of just Eggman's robots and Sonic 06, which all just looked incredibly boring. Like to quote Clement from his review, I'll take Motorbug any day.
I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we disagree opinion-wise.
Well, not just that, Joe. I don't know. I think the best way is in the middle ground in a sense where, yeah, I understand the appeal of Badniks, but I can also understand the fact that each new game may want to introduce at least a new enemy recurring type.
I was talking more about the enemies in this game. I mean,
I have no problem.
There's more than just the big purple dudes here. There's also the Technicolor ones. There's the blue ones. There's also the giant ones who also in Titanic Plane, as well as the Titanic enemies. Not to mention the giant axe wielders like those ones that you're doing.
Well, you know, Java, what would be a good compromise for this if these mooks actually resembled some of the Eggman's robots.
It's not even that's not what's necessary. I don't mind, and to answer Teo's, I don't mind them introducing new enemies. What I want is them to make each enemy incredibly distinct from others, so I can actually remember them. Like all I can remember from the enemies in this game is just humanoid-looking things, and they attack.
Well, that's what they are in there.
Yeah, but in the let's take Mania for example.
True. No, not just that. Even the classic, the Motobug has a specific pattern, the Slicer has a specific pattern, stuff like that.
Like for example, one of the things that I like about the egg pawns that were introduced in here is that they managed to differentiate them by giving them little touches. Like some of them have cooking hats, some of them, you know what I'm going with this, right? Like have them distinct, make them easily identifiable. You know, whereas all of the enemies in this game to me just sort of blend in.
I will disagree about them blending, but I do see where you're coming from.
Anyway,
alright, what's new?
Let's check.
Rabbit's tail.
There you go.
Nothing new then.
Nothing new. Let's keep going.
Cheers.
Meanwhile, Jova's coughing.
All right, time to rescue the townspeople.
Again.
And by that I mean get to the goal.
Yeah. So.
Thank you, Sonic. There's a tornado in that car carrying that.
Basically that's your hint to help deal with a certain enemy.
That's true. Yeah. To be fair,
okay.
yes. To be fair, yeah. That does also play into. Yeah. Excuse me.
Don't show it to eyes.
I know, right?
Swing away. All right.
Whenever there's an alien comes, just swing away.
That was a bit weird.
So yeah, to break these blocks, you have to use the kick button that the game just taught you how to use. Sorry, the kick move. Sorry, not button. Yeah.
Thankfully, the kick move is relatively simple.
Yeah.
It's a matter of homing in on it.
You press a button and swing the nunchuck.
So essentially, the stage loops.
Exactly. That stage from now on will keep looping until you figure out what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
Again, the lights are your hint.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware of that. It's just that.
No. I'm talking to Tito.
Well, I thought it was supposed for defeating enemies, okay, but to... Oh, okay.
It serves a double purpose.
There you go.
Oh.
It can also hurt enemies.
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry, Shadow of the Colossus did this so much better.
Not just that, but the problem. One of the problems is that when you're doing that, you're stopped that you can't defend yourself. So if there are enemies behind you, they can hit you, take a cheap shot at you. It's
Get right.
so basically it can be quite of a problem to try to get that right. Fucking hell! Move on.
All right.
All right, let's try this again.
5 rings.
5 ring fairies or whatever.
I'm kind of glad this game doesn't have a live system.
Oh, you had to destroy all the crystal pillars, black.
That's where the villagers are trapped.
Yeah. Basically, you're supposed to use the light to destroy the black crystals, but unfortunately, I still haven't figured that out yet because I'm a moron. I think it would have helped if the game flat out, if the game at the very least, made sure those.
Outside of the light pillar, there should have been like a marker on the.
Not just that. Yeah, they could have had Sonic say those black crystals look suspicious, and there you go. That would have worked.
I suppose.
But then someone would have accused the game of pointing out
We
stuff.
know,
Baby.
Yeah, I don't think that's pointing out the obvious. I think it's just a little nudge in the right direction, more or less. It's not like they're literally saying, by the way, destroy those crystals, which is the only way to move through the level. Sonic 06 is the...
I know. When it comes to Sonic, I've realised that the only opinion I should really believe is my own, because
there are also mimics.
Well, that honestly, that's kind of how it should work for everything, if you ask me. But anyway,
well, I mean, it's nice to listen to others, to see what they think. But half the time, especially with Sonic, I've learned just a second, because sometimes.
So I have a question. Sorry,
sometimes the way they express stuff is a bit off. Like all this tweet that tries to say that all the level design of Sonic Forces is bland just from this one picture.
True, yeah, it's offhand. Anyway,
go ahead, Pedro. Tell what you were supposed to do.
One thing that I have a question: why exactly do I need to destroy those things? Wait, are the villagers inside those things? Is that what?
Apparently,
yes.
Okay.
It's like
never mind
it's like
then.
those golems that see the scale is created in Dark Souls.
Never mind then.
So you're using the power of Jesus to
No, the power of light.
Seriously, the choir isn't LP.
Sonic does have religious crossover.
We're using the mirror shield to.
Come on, Pedro, fight it.
It's because the motion controls in these sections are terrible.
Really? I've never had a problem with them. You just simply wave them around and hold them as if
He didn't with the previous one, but this seems to be a problem.
It would have helped if the game gave me some kind of tutorial on how this works.
Yeah, these particular crystals seem to be way too off the side.
Break, you stupid thing!
Come on, Pedro, use the power of Jesus Christ properly.
But I hate Jesus metaphors. They're always so hammy and unsubtle.
Oh
There
yeah,
we go.
Jesus.
Except for facing the giants, where it was clever.
Even Superman's are so completely on the nose.
Again, except for in facing the giants, where that was nicely
Is that a film or a...
filmed.
Mm.
Facing the giants.
Phil.
Alright, a
It's
new
also
mission for
sports
Crystal
movie.
Cave.
It's a religious sports movie.
Anyway,
Religious-
let's get Aquamarine and Rock Salt.
Yes,
A
Twibs,
religious
there actually
sports
are.
movie. That's a new one.
I like
believe it or
I
not,
like Ten
it-
Commandments and Prince of Egypt. Anyway,
Well,
Yeah.
the problem is you can count the really good religious films on one hand.
anyway.
Oh, come on, Dwibs. That's just looking for a narrow scope.
Oh, Pedro is just getting the treasure.
Yeah.
Alright, so now what's next?
Alright, Rampage.
50
Defeat 50 enemies.
Okay.
Yeah, let's check it till it has anything new for us.
Oh,
If anything, if anything, so I can hear this theme again.
Points for standing airborne, really?
Yeah, that's just my problem with these items. These items are so fucking useless.
Yeah,
Like-
it's like a reverse situation of what happened in 13.2. In there, you get accessories that are very powerful, but the point system prevents you from getting them, essentially.
Sorry, villagers, but I had to sacrifice some of you to defeat those enemies.
You just
Yeah,
to
sorry,
lure the
guys.
enemies away from the villages and then hack and slash.
I don't really care about the townspeople, so whatever.
And that is what separates you from me. Whereas I'm
in
the
terms of Sonic games, a
Ow.
lot of the additional power-ups, like the ones you see in Generations, are kind of superfluous.
Sorry, Joel, but in order to feel empathy for people, I need to actually get to know them in at least some basic sense.
So you're basically the Riku to my Sora. Well, the Riku in Kingdom Hearts 1 to my Sora in Kingdom Hearts 1.
So are you saying, Jova, that you're a Mary Sue?
wait, hold on.
Sora's a
I
Mary
wouldn't say
Sue.
Sora, I wouldn't say Sora becomes a Mary Sue in Kingdom
If
Hearts
anything,
1.
I tell you, I think you mean Gary Stew. That's a term for boys. Mary Sue is a term for girls.
What?
But Pedro, this design is so effeminate.
That's why the human characters in the 2011 Muppets movie, Justin Siegel, were called Gary and Mary. Get it? Huh? All right,
Anyway,
moving
Now
on.
Sonic's being pursued by bats.
Bats. Because
Do these bite you and take away your rings?
Well, Dwebs, everything that hurts you takes away your rings. So
I meant, what do the bats do exactly? Do they haunt you?
I don't remember. It's been a long time since I recorded
I'll
this.
check.
Jova, it's okay. It's okay. Tay. We have the expert here to tell us. Go ahead, Jova.
Oh yeah, they're there for scenery.
There you go.
What? They don't even take away your rings bit by bit.
Well, Dibs, they weren't closing in on you there. If they
Well,
take away
I
your
was gonna
lives,
say,
then
is it
it's
like-
not at that
is
point.
Is it like one of them random things from Mega Man X6 where they bite you and take away a bit of your health bit by bit?
Thankfully not, because we don't want to really take inspiration from X6, even though it's not the worst of the X games.
What about its music?
Fair enough.
What am I fighting for? Joke here.
It's interesting that one of the what's regarded as one of, if not the worst Mega Man game in the series, has one of the better soundtracks.
Mm-hmm. And to be fair, X6 is not completely the worst. I mean, it still has redeeming qualities enough in the gameplay department.
Now X7 on the other end.
Yeah, I got
I was going to ask, what would you say is the worst?
a 1-star rating, but I don't really care. Moving on. I already have a completed save file that's 100% that I downloaded off the internet, so whatever.
Well,
Which is why I'll be doing the part where we actually properly beat Lancelot and don't rage quit. For the
Great.
sake of a proper playthrough.
Okay. Yay.
You mean the child that sounded exactly like Amy turned out to be Amy? I am so shocked.
Wow, Pedro, are you sure it was like a range?
No. To be fair, this is one of those cases where
my guess is that it was supposed to be intentional. Maybe like, oh, you're supposed to guess that it's her from Beth.
I guess, but they couldn't at the very least disguise her voice a bit. Come on.
Who knows?
What's her name again?
Lisa Ortiz.
Yeah, come on, Lisa. Change your voice up a little bit.
No. Does she have her fire powers in this game?
Yes.
Yes.
Ah, cool.
In fact, she's actually in the fire level. So.
And there's a theme song about fire.
I'm fighting through the fire.
Not to mention the fact that all the knights pretty much have the same powers as their counterparts.
Except Amy's not crazy.
Well, then again...
Well, I said their powers, not their vitalities.
So Sonic is the chosen one now?
I don't know, she seems to have the power of creepy stalker.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Terry. You'll see what they mean with that when we get to the ending.
Sorry, I missed the cutscene.
You missed
It's okay.
You missed.
I was BRB. I'll get it.
Oh, don't worry. You didn't miss anything. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything.
Exposition, Sonic and the Sword bickering.
That's it.
That's not exactly how it went, actually. There was more than exposition, honestly. Tisk!
Anyway.
Exposition.
Exposition.
Alright, next mission. Reach for the goal.
For the goal. Reach the goal. Why did you give me the
redundancy for the win?
Ow.
Get from A to B, like you've been doing since
There you go.
1990.
There you go, Dwebs. Welcome to the fire level.
Huh.
Oh, it looks cool so far.
It does. The art direction in this game is pretty awesome. I don't particularly care for the enemies, but outside of that, I really love the art direction of this game.
Well, I mean, level design. I mean, the Crystal Caves before looked a bit generic to me, but these ones so far seem to be more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
How do you like that you can choose when or not to grind?
Oh, Pedro.
Yes.
Pedro, you're not supposed to run into spikes. I thought we practiced this in How to Live.
Sorry, Joe. I usually prefer my Sonic games to not be on rails. Go ahead.
Do you know any of the names of the other composers in this game that aren't Jun Sonoe?
Tommy Tallarico and Howard Drawson. For those who don't know, Howard Drawson.
Richard Jack, apparently.
Huh?
Richard Jack did some tracks.
Oh yeah, and Richard Jack, yeah. Okay, for those who don't know, Howard Drawson was the composer for a lot of games made by the Sega Technical Institute back in the 90s, including Comic Zone and other stuff. He was actually the one who took over for the Sonic Free and Knuckles project back when the Michael Jackson team quit the project. So he was the one who made most of the tracks that you hear in Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic Free and Knuckles. That's why we got a brand new theme for Sonic Free and Knuckles that replaced the original theme from Sonic Free. Tommy Tallarico, of course, is the guy who created the Video Games Live Concerts. He's one of the big authorities in video game.
And he also did the music for the PS1 Spider-Man game.
Yeah, he's both a veteran composer and also a guy who really does a great job in bringing out some awesome video game concerts. And of course, we have Richard Jack, a Sega legend, who did music for a shit ton of games like Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic R, Headhunter for the Dreamcast, plenty of Sega games. And this was his kind of first. This was his. Fortunately, unlike Sonic Chronicles, which was an utterly abomination of mankind, the music in the music he made for this game is actually pretty damn good. I like especially the track.
But it helps he wasn't held back by the DS.
Later on in the climax, there's actually going to be a cutscene that has a more emotional version of the theme with me. That was done by him, and it sounds absolutely beautiful. That's definitely one of my favorites. So yeah, like I said, the music is godly in this game. I'm still hoping for. Can we have at least? Can we? When's the next time we're gonna get Jun Sonoe to sound direct a Sonic game again? I really love this.
He's doing.
I know he's doing stuff for Forces. I know
instruments in Forces.
And I think he's also somewhat involved with the vocal tracks. But I kind of wish we could have have a more like him.
Not to someone. He's the guy who does the guitar work. That was full.
Yeah, of course. Well, yeah, of course. He's always the one who does it. He's the big guitar guy of the Sega Sound team. But the point is,
not always the one who does guitar work, which is why it's such a big deal that it was confirmed that he's definitely doing the lead guitar work with the vocal tunes and voices.
Well, that's because it's been a while since we've really heard anything from him in a Sonic game.
I really want my favorite Sonic soundtrack. Like my favorite Sonic soundtracks are still Sonic Adventure 1 at number 1, then probably this one, and the one from Sonic Heroes. Like I love Jun Sunoi's sound direction.
Finally, someone who someone who also likes the Sonic Heroes music as much as I do.
Plenty of people love Sonic Heroes music, don't they? I mean,
yeah, that's the first time I heard that as well.
A whole lot though.
Well, it's not an underrated soundtrack by any means, but it's not really talked about much, which is sad.
It's because it's because it doesn't have as much variety as the Sonic Adventure soundtracks, I'm guessing.
Maybe.
Really?
It sounds good still.
I'd say it has quite a bit.
Especially Adventure 1. Especially Adventure 1.
I mean, the adventure games have far more musical variety in them.
I mean, it has the more whereas the Sonic Hero soundtrack feels like a classic Sonic soundtrack brought on into the modern sensibilities with real instruments and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps. Maybe.
Goodbye, Tails.
Not to mention, the Sonic Heroes has my favorite selection of vocal tunes in the entire series.
Alright, let's do this.
Remind me again, Dave, who voices, please?
Bella Hudson.
She's fine, but the voice we have right now is much better.
That's because Laura Bailey.
Gee, I wonder why.
He's the Knight of the Wind.
I thought someone was going to interrupt her.
Alright, time to beat the boss, Sir Percival. Shouldn't it be Lady Percival?
Yeah.
No, I think it was stated before that Sir was used either way.
Yeah. Sir tends to be used
the thing, Percival was actually a guy in the Arturian
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Sir literally Mister?
Depends, Pedro. Yes, but in the case of a knight, it represents the title.
I guess.
Yeah,
sure.
pretty much. Makes sense.
There you go, Dibs. That's our trademark fire tornado move from Sonic Rush.
Why did
And
you?
we barely got to hear that song.
Because Pedro kept charging her. Jesus Christ!
Sword flashing.
Sorry, in the mix of all the waggling, I accidentally pressed the home button.
How do you do that?
It happens.
It happens because I don't like waggling.
Trust me, Dweebs, I can attend to some degree because when I had to play Heavy Rain and all those sections, when I had to jerk off the controller like that, it's really easy to press a button by accident. Seriously, fuck David Cage.
Since this is Blaze, I'm surprised he didn't give her a thing that kind of sounds a bit like one from Sonic Rush.
So yeah,
question.
It's a good thing as Blaze's AI is fucking shit. She just kept taunting me with my block and then attack strategy.
Does she has a leitmotif in the Rush games? Like a character theme.
A bit of one.
Somewhat.
Really character themes. It's more well known for its level tracks.
Yeah.
Blaze has stage remixes for her runs.
It's what Johnny mentioned.
Oh, that's actually another one. Yeah, the Sonic Rush is one of my favorite Sonic sound. The first one. I don't particularly care much for the Sonic Rush Adventure soundtrack, but Nagano. I like that one. But Nagano.
Oh, wait.
You cannot.
Percival, you should be roasting in an armor at this very moment.
Actually,
well, she has firepower, so she's good.
Point taken.
Also, we're about to get a Sane's moment coming up soon, and there we go.
Oh god, not more great shipping.
Okay, seriously, James, what?
Well, to be fair, that was just a little. To be fair, that was just a snide remark on part of Caliburn more than anything else.
I mean, okay, James, what do you have against shipping? Did shipping kill your aunt or something?
It poisoned my water supply, burned the crops, and brought a plague onto my house.
Don't forget, we've spread salt on
Jova. My uncle's grandpa was run over by a ship running in the land, Speed 2 style. So I hate shipping.
Yeah, it was all Speed 2's fault. Bloody yander.
Anyway, look, I'm still in the game.
I didn't
Of
help
course,
at all.
One problem that I do have is that you can tell before we got to the climax that they didn't really know what to do with Marlena in the build up to the climax, so they just kind of moved her away. And
was she supposed to be like having a bigger role? Like
don't worry, Tail. She'll get a bigger role later.
I know about that, but in a sense, but she was supposed like the Charla of this game.
Yeah, I'm guessing so, but I'm guessing they realized that people in secret. I guess there was some backlash with Secret Rings' Navi like stuff for Shara, so I guess they decided to scale that back. I don't know.
Not necessarily.
And just have Caliburn do it.
Well, honestly, Caliburn is the Shara of it, so I mean, I wouldn't say that Marlena got bashed down because of any backlash that Shara got. Because if that were the case, then they wouldn't have had Caliburn doing the same thing.
So now that
they just wanted to build up the relationship between Caliburn and Sonic more. So
that too, yeah. Yeah, that too.
Alright then.
So yeah, now that we've finished all 3 trials and got all the 3 swords, we were officially Sonic, the Knight of the Wing. We are no longer a knave, we're officially a knight. So now we can finally go and defeat King Arthur and save Camelot.
Let's do this.
In the next part.
See you then.
See ya.
Alright, see ya.